This is Internet Personality Vangelus, and I'm here with a toy review. Surprise, surprise! A toy review on this YouTube channel? Oh my god! And it's of Transformers Animated Leader Class, Ultra Magnus. This guy is one of the nicest toys I've seen in a mainline for a while. And yes, I'll get this part out of the way. It's not white, it's light blue! That bothered me for all of 10 seconds, because when I pulled him out of the box, I needed about 10 seconds to pick up a twist tie that fell down. And then I forgot about it, because I had my hands on the toy. Massage. Anyway, he's a very cool looking armored truck thing. It's not reminiscent at all of any of his previous alt modes, but then again, they were, you know, trailer-bearing car carrier things. So, in terms of being a truck, it's about the same. It's got some really funny-looking stuff in the back. This kind of bugged me a little bit at first, seeing how it's not flush at all. But the tail lights sculpted here seem to kind of compensate for the crookedness. So, good on you, Magnus. Now, his vehicle mode does something, and it does the same thing in robot mode, but I'll show you it twice, because I like this. Now, I could show you how all this works, but I think it's more fun if I just do it my way, and show you that Ultra Magnus can deal with it. That he can deal with it! That is correct. He transforms from a large armored vehicle to a large armored vehicle decked out with 5 million guns! The big sticky outy gun up here, I've seen some people, you know, want to lay it flat. And, you know, aesthetically that's pretty, but I think these are supposed to be two enormous laser cannons, and if you laid them flat, he'd just shoot through his own 6 barrels of doom up here. So I like to put them up a little bit. You can actually aim them independently and have them, you know, aim up and down and rain fiery death on those who would claim he cannot deal with this right now. And there's a magic red button here, and when you push it, you get a really pleasant noise. I love the start of that thing. You can also hold it down, but you don't get a looping noise, unfortunately. It just keeps going and going and going and going. I can deal with it now! I can deal with it now! Whew, pardon me there, I find this toy tremendously confidence-building. His transformation is also really cool, and it's, I think, the best of the 3-liter transformations yet, only because, while Bulkheads does a lot of really neat things, this one does a lot of neat things that are a little neater to me. That's just my opinion. What I like about this the most is that it's not a clear-cut case of the limbs all being in place from the start. No siree. Everything here moves around. You also have to remove this little block, which, you know, who cares what this thing is? And, now his legs come out in a way that are a little, you know, classic. They just fold out from the bottom, and they're hollow, which is a little odd, considering he's a, you know, trained veteran of the Great Wars and all that, that he'd have such a huge amount of empty space in his legs. But here's the cool thing. The way you fill it in is by moving all 4 tires inside on a really simple but well-engineered, you know, double joint thing, and you get this really cool look with the 8 wheels in the back of his legs, filling them out. It's ooh, I'm sweating as I'm doing this, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, it's salty, but it's good. Now he's already getting a little bit large and a little double jointed. This part, you just, you know, you split the top here, and then and now you get Ultra Magnus. You give me help. No. You take these turquoise blocks and you swivel them down there, and what happens when you do that is you get some noises. What kind of noises? It's the noise that, you know, 5 years ago would have sent the fandom in a tizzy, and nowadays just kind of gets a little bit of a, oh, that's cool. It's none other than, look out, you're going to be so surprised. A transformation noise! Seriously, guys, back in the day before Armada Energon Cybertron, and even during them, you know, hearing the transformation noise, the original one, on a toy was, like, unthinkable. And nowadays, it's almost expected if a toy makes noises while it transforms. It's kind of odd how our expectations change over time, isn't it? I think it is. Now, there's one step here, which is, to describe it to you, you know, without doing it, you take this thing and you move it up here. However, you have to do it in a way that involves so much physical force that I don't want to embarrass myself by doing it on camera, so I'll just do it really fast using my innate knowledge of the toy. Work it for me! There we go. Magnus knows who the alpha is. I'm the alpha! I'm gonna go in the town, gonna get me so many women's... And there you go. Now, he's got a really cool look here with the vehicle shoulder pads and all that. Let me see if I can give you a bit of a zoomed-out glimpse here. He's got, as I said with many animated toys, excellent lines. The only problem with him is his leg ratchets mean he's either looking up or looking down. It's very hard to get him looking level. You kind of have to imagine he's looking down his nose at you. But then again, he's Ultra Magnus. His first name is Ultra, so he gets to do that kind of thing. This backpack, you can have stick out a little bit more like the classic G1 Magnus pipes, but then it sticks out a lot from there, so I like to have it down and snug up to the back, like a warm blanket. And, oh, right, there's his magnificent weapon. This innocent block turns into the mighty THUNDERMAGNUS! And it's kind of short. Yeah, there's a disappointment there. Also, it has this wedge to fit inside his hand, and while it's very solid, and certainly not badly engineered at all, it also means he's holding the hammer by the head, and given how short it is, it's kind of unimpressive. So, those of you wondering about this, this is actually very solid too. It just spins around a little. You can have him hold the bottom of the hammer, and then it's a little bit more epic looking. He also talks. You've all heard the lines before, but I'll do them for you because I want to point something out here.
Ultra Magnus here. Don't be a hero, Optimus. We must return the old spark to Cybertron.
Now, Leader Megatron you can sock puppet. Leader Bulkhead, the moment you touch this button and then do anything, he starts rattling off line after line. Magnus you can kind of sock puppet. It goes off the moment you touch it, as you can see, but if you jam it in, then you start doing this. You can kind of sock puppet him while you rend all the paint off the front of his chest. So, electronics are a little disappointing. Also, the magic red button does nothing in robot mode. So, I was a little sad there. I was hoping for some lightning thunder Magnus power, but no. The other problem I have with him are his shoulders. You see, they're fully posable aside from wrists, which would have been nice. But when you move them up, you can start to realize that the shoulder joint for this rotation is way back over here, like on the Titanium G1 Magnus, so it can make him look a little odd when he's waving his arms around. However, he's loaded with character, and more often than not looks incredibly badass, and, well, he gets more badass, because if you think the hammer isn't enough, well, ladies and gentlemen, he can deal with it! That's right, ladies and gentlemen. If you somehow doubt his prowess with the THUNDERMAGNUS, then he displays to you the fact that his entire upper torso is a massive gun rack of death! I really, really love this part of the design. This is a humongous amount of firepower coming out of this guy, and considering how few of the Autobots carry any kind of major weaponry, it's really a way of showing that this is the Supreme Commander. I just cannot get enough of how he looks here. Poseability-wise, outside of his upper body, he's, he's got your usual knees and hips, universal joints, heavy and ratcheting. Could have used a few more in-between ratchets or a slight twist of the whole ratchet, so that was a little disappointing, because his legs do have a tendency to do that thing where you wish that they were going to a position in between the two positions they can assume at the moment. But, it's nothing serious, and I mean, the guy has like 5 million guns on his body and a giant hammer, so I'm not about to, question his authority whatsoever. Anyway, this has been internet personality Vangelus. This has been Transformers Animated Ultra Magnus. He is just so loaded with unbelievable epic on his firepower, on his hammer, on the way he looks, on his size, even on his transformation. So I cannot recommend this guy enough. Anyway, I hope that you've enjoyed this review. I hope it's helped you realize that Ultra Magnus is your father. And that's all I've got to say. Alright, son. Alright, I'll give you this round. Omega Supreme's gonna give you a walk off the park this time, sucker. He's gonna let you live. He's gonna let you, go on with your life. He's gonna let you step outside and have children. Omega Supreme wants you to know that he don't hate you. He just wants you to remember that Omega Supreme is the boss. But Omega Supreme ain't gonna tangle with you right now, son. Omega Supreme got a woman to take care of. Omega Supreme, he's gonna head off over here now.